Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and welcome to Morning Brew. Yes, I decided to start a little early today. Um, I decided to not do the e-news and instead see who was on. I happened to find that Guy MFS was on, and God, I hadn't heard him on in a while, so it was fun. I'd forgotten, we'd be in on some of the most interesting chats on some different streams out there. And God, that doesn't seem like it's been so long ago. About 2 years now. God, that just doesn't seem possible. But yeah, it was. Those were fun times. Those were definitely fun times. And let's see here. Good morning. It's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. Good morning. How are you today? And let's see here. We have Eagle Rider in the chat who says, morning. Same difference. Well, kind of. Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm glad to hear you're well, Courtney. I just glad you're here. Uh, let's see here. Uh, I hope that everyone else listening is doing well. We've got definitely got I don't know what we got going on this morning. It's going to be an interesting thing. I usually check out some news stuff in the morning before going live, and then with the uh, first stream I have. But this morning it's just like, yeah. I won't. Okay. And good morning, Tina Bojan. Yes, glad you came over from Kai's stream. How are you doing? Um, Kai is absolutely awesome. Uh, yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, Courtney, yeah, that's the best thing to do is stay out of your head. I'm slowly learning that lesson. Ah, so positivity is my go-to. Laughter, all that. Cool. Is there a particular place you go to? I mean, is there a particular site or a particular type of thing you like to listen to kind of just, well, as you say, stay out of your own head? Yeah, my thoughts are my biggest enemy. Yeah, I understand that completely. Um, just talking to people actually does help. That's one of the reasons I actually started doing these streams. Oh, let's see here. Probably ought to do my usual thing and post them both into the what, really Twitter group and Discord groups for opening up everything to other people. Let me get to the group first. God damn, really? I've had so many. There it is. Finally, I had so many DMs in the past day. I had a hard time finding my own thing, and I have a picture that I've selected that it's like, okay, this one I know I'm going to recognize immediately on site because nobody else uses anything like this, and it's the background for the morning brew. Um, and it's like, okay, yeah, no problem. I'll be able to find it. No big deal. Yeah. Um, trust me, it's a lot harder than it looks. Okay, there we go. Got that posted in Twitter. Now Discord. It takes a minute for it to start up because uh, okay, there it is. Now I got to get to my group, and there we go. Delete that one. So it is Friday, of course. So hopefully everybody has something going on for the weekend. Uh, Depending on the weather, of course, because I know some places are planning for winter weather. Yay. I mean, it's about fucking time, but yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I will say this. There are a few times I will swear in the chat because, yeah, this is not a children's channel. I don't want to be rude, but yeah, kids are not Well, there's certain places kids belong. This is not one of them. And that's not to be totally rude, but just, yeah, want to be honest. And I've got that taken care of. Good deal. Uh, yeah, unfortunately, yeah, I think the the talking is a distraction. That's a good thing. Um, I like the feeling of being able to talk to people, to interact and connect on some level, because I don't know, it's just fun. Um, Getting your mind off things that are going on in real life, and being able to just sit there and enjoy at least a little time together, and just talking. For whatever reason, there are people that actually like tuning in and listening to me talk. Uh, Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't always understand why, but hey, it is appreciated. Um, let's see here. Let me go ahead and throw out the. And hey, Kai, how have you been? By the way, been a while since I've messaged you. I need to again, other than the link, of course. Um, but so I actually know you have the link, because actually, you got the link to the stream. I didn't give you the link to the backstage. I probably should have, but there we go. And then eventually I'll have to pin that message when I can. And Kai, you have a great day. I'm glad that you were able to be on. Um, Hoping that you're on more often when you can be. Love getting to catch you on. It's uh, always fun, and I'm going to have to get some coffee in a few minutes, because yeah, coffee is, yeah, much needed at this point. And let's see here. I do have Rosetta back. I'll go ahead and let her on. I'll get some coffee as well.
Mm,
What's going on, Rosetta?
just stressed. I really can't sleep for anything because everything has to hurt like hell. So hey, normal life, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, that is.
Mm.
So let's see here. What's been going on? How is Richard? I know you talk to him more than I get to.
He's been doing okay with stuff. Trying to come up with a couple ways for him to actually be able to be on streams a little bit more often again. But it's been pretty busy. He did actually join me for a little bit when I hopped onto Piper's the other night when we were all going crazy and playing Cards Against Humanity.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, who was it? Somebody's been. There have been a couple different people who wanted me to join game streams, and it's just been funny because every time they've wanted me to, um, something else has been going on. Um, one was Cards Against Humanity. The other was what was it? Jackbox.
See,
It's two different things.
I enjoy both of those because you can come up with the most absurd, ridiculous, over the top or just dark answers, and that's the kind of stuff I have fun with.
Oh yeah. Well, sometimes it's funny to come up with weird answers because some of the answers are really, really weird. And it's like, this is actually so weird, it could be true.
I have learned one thing about the weird, whacked out people that I do games with. If I come up with answers that are really dark humor or really offensive, I get more points. I'm good at winning those games usually, actually, come to think of it.
Been a couple of them I wanted to go a little bit darker with, but it's like, it would actually be a correct answer, but it's like,
well, I can put it to you this way. At one point when it was me as the one selecting the answer and the answers were supposed to be directed to me, Piper threw a smallpox blanket joke at me.
Oh!
And I still voted for her. Because we both know it wasn't meant as malicious, it was being dark and twisted, you know? There is genuinely a difference between just being crazy versus actually believing that stuff, you know?
Well, there are people who will believe anything. Which is why we have the people we do now, but we're not going into that. So, Courtney, what have you been doing? Why don't you hop on if you can? Assuming you have a mic.
But the games help. The middle of the night streams help. Having company helps. Everything's just been so much to deal with lately. And I will give this credit. I actually have one of the neatest flight shots I got with the Eagles just a couple days ago. So
it would be cool to be able to see because I'm not at a place I could actually see them.
Someday you need to get yourself to a point where you think you could handle traveling for a day or two and just do this in January, February, and go and find a room you can stay safely in the Cedar Rapids area and check out Old River and Coralville Dam. Because that's where they gather in the convocations.
I even have I don't get to use it much, but have to either. But I even have a wheelchair that I can use so that I can get around and not have to walk as much.
If you ever want to try to find a way to see the Eagles and experience it, I can show you which places you could get to and actually see them.
And people look at me and it's like, why are you in a wheelchair? You can walk. It's like, yeah, but it hurts.
The thing is that not all people in wheelchairs are in them 24/7.
Yeah.
Not all people with disabilities are affected by them every day. And I can be absolutely fine in hiking one day and unable to even sit up the next. And a lot of us are that way. You know?
Yeah, unfortunately, well, fortunately, I'm going to be going to visit a surgeon soon in order to see about getting surgery. which should help things a lot.
For you.
And guess who we have? It's
Hey.
Courtney.
Hi, I have to mute the other thing. Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Hi guys.
Whatever it is, I didn't do it.
I was gonna get my tea, and then I heard what you said, Rosetta, and I just want to I want to like agree with you on that because that's something that I deal with all the time. Where some days I can't do anything or do throughout a day. I can have like boosts of energy, physical energy, and then I'm done. Um, and people don't understand that. They're like, you don't have a, you know, I hate the word disabled. I hate it. So, but I'm
I
in the
don't.
process. I'm not.
I don't really, because I understand where it came from medically and stuff. I hate how some people use it, but the word as a medical term based in the language roots, I don't.
Yeah, no, that's not
the
Exactly.
way I hate it. I don't mean it that way. What I mean is like, I hate having to accept that I am.
It's like when people use that certain word as the shortened slur version versus actually using the medical term and going through the actual retardation of is a different term than using this. It's the same way most slurs are shortening or altered pronunciations of actual terms, you know?
I do. I totally do. My problem is I don't like the word because still having I'm still having a problem accepting it. It's newer for me, you know, like the actual situation.
I
I'm
kind of
not.
get that.
I just stopped working in 2019 at the end of the year, so it's like I know that's a couple years now, but it's like still very fresh. And I was also in I was still married, and I that time was filled with a lot of other bad stuff going on, so I haven't really had the time to sit and like process a lot of it, you know. So that's
Actually,
why that word is kind of like right now they're 56% through my disability application, and that's only been in a month. So I have a terminal thing, so they do try to put it through faster, but they don't have any employees right now. I'm pretty sure a lot of people quit because of the vaccine mandates, federal jobs, you know, Social Security. Because all of a sudden, it seems like when I check online, my case is like just stopped, like the progress. Um,
It does. Trust me.
they will
do
stop
it as
them.
long
They
as
will
they
reject.
can.
They will reject you no matter how much evidence you have multiple times before you get through. On almost pretty much every person I've talked to, no matter what they had and what they're going
the
through.
person on the phone made it seem different to me, but I don't believe anybody, so I believe you. I believe the people that have gone through the process. You know, I don't necessarily believe that.
My dad was refused repeatedly, and he has multiple types of muscular dystrophy.
Yeah, it's crazy. I have, yeah, mine's a terminal illness. There's no cure. I'm on chemo medication for the rest of my life. Not, I don't. It's not cancer, but I have to do weekly chemo forever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's debilitating in every way, like with the medication also. But then on top of it, you've got the pandemic. You know, I'm immunosuppressed. It's like every angle of it. It sucks. And
I could tirade on this whole pandemic stuff and how they treat people with different disabilities. Really, really bad, actually, because when I say the world wants me dead, they're basically denying me all medical rights because I can't do certain things.
That's what I feel like the world wants us dead because they're weeding out the weak. And the weak are the people that need money from the government. That's my theory, and I am one of those people right now.
It goes beyond that. It goes back to the eugenics and population control, but I won't go into that here.
Oh yeah, no, I can see that too. But
I mean, it is. It just crushes the spirit to constantly be fighting until I've actually had hospitals literally tell me if I can't do it, just go and die.
Don't I'm not telling you. Sorry, I didn't need to word it like "don't do this."
Yeah.
I'm trying to rephrase it because I'm trying to correct the way I say things because I'm harsh. I'm from Philly, and I tend to come out and like say things, and then people get like they don't take it the way I intend it. So that was not the right way to start it. I'm going to tell you, I try. I try to. I've kind of gotten to the point of in having, you know, my relationship be bad, I'll just say. Helped with this a lot. I'm trying to just learn. It's really hard for me. Learn to be. I prefer the word self-full, not selfish. Can you tell that I go to therapy? But I'm trying to just not. I kind of tune out Tokyo, and it's ignorant in a way, but ignorance is bliss. And right now, when certain things like I can't watch the news, I can't do certain things right now because it'll shut me down mentally.
I'm not even worrying about the news. I'm worrying about I need medical care and they won't give it to me. Literally.
Have you tried like
I
advocacy
have
programs?
been through. I have fighting with that. I have been through trying to get help through multiple states. Everything else, they're all
You sh-
blackballing you. If you can't do certain things medically, then they don't want to treat you, and they're blaming the pandemic
oh,
for it.
so I would just I'm going to give you a suggestion. There's I need to get the name of it from my email, but there's a foundation that they're called, it's like they call themselves like creakyjoints.org or something, but they will deal with all sorts of different um like illnesses. Like mine is a form of vasculitis technically, but it's also considered autoimmune, and it's they anything can fall under these categories. Vasculitis is blood vessels, so it doesn't really pertain, but because it's autoimmune, it pertains to joints, and I get arthritis and stuff like that. This place, they've called me and asked me during the pandemic like what type of help I've needed, and I'm gonna get the name of it and just go to their, or just you can creakyjoints.org. You go on there and it's like, I think Global
I
Health
will
and
not
Living
remember that by the
Foundation.
time I can actually do anything.
Okay, I'll put it in the private chat.
That won't help me on this laptop, honestly.
Do you want me to DM you in Discord?
Yeah, that'd be better.
Would that work? Okay,
Discord would definitely be better. Good morning, Orville Nation, and good morning, Mr. Lundell.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask you, because you've been talking about dealing with the pain every day, and is the pain new with your disabilities that are occurring now, or have you been more used to that in your life?
Oh no, I never had the pain like this until I first got sick in 2017. I wasn't diagnosed until it took 2.5 years. So no, I mean I dealt with mental pain and traumas and abuse and stuff like that, but the daily pain that people don't understand that do not have chronic illnesses, I had never dealt with. And in the beginning, I didn't deal with it. It was hard. I cried all day, every day. I'm serious. Like I could not cope. Like
No, I know that feeling. And the thing is,
it becomes to be too much.
I get the weirdest looks from people when I tell them I've never experienced a moment without pain in my life.
You've had it for a long time. I feel so bad, and it probably wears at you so much.
And they look at me the weirdest way and stuff. It's like, but most of the time I can cope, and I'm still active and happy because you get used to things. And
You adapt,
again, a lot of my chronic pain relates to the same tainted shot that caused the seizures and all that other stuff. And that's my earliest memories, is dealing with that medically, So it's always been there. It's always been there. But, and then there's the stuff that gets worse as you get older. But it's fine most of the time. I'll cope, even though most of the time I would say my pain would rate too unbearable to most people in every day. But when the weather gets bad and the nerve damage and all the muscle issues.
Yep. Well, I have like tense up. Kind of like everything locks up.
I have nerve disorders. I have autoimmune disorders. I have neuromuscular disorders. I also have nerve damage and pain damage from seizure damage. So I have weird spasms, shakes, twitches, and stuff like that.
Do you get like the zaps and stuff too? The electric shocks, I call them the zaps.
I can't do that stuff. The problem is most of the things people can do for treatments for things.
I'm saying you feel the.
Oh God, I couldn't hear you very well. No,
they feel like electrical,
like spasms and twitches and tinges, and
I get all that.
There's times where it feels like you're like being stabbed through the nerve cluster, and when it's twitching and stuff, and yeah.
Do you ever do progressive muscle relaxation? Like there's guided meditations of progressive muscle relaxation. They actually tend to help me a lot. It's just where they like talk you through, like they start like at the top or the bottom or whatever, and they say like relax this part, relax this part, relax this part, but they talk you through your whole body. By the time you get to the like your feet or whatever, they'll tell you to take a deep breath and drop your bones. That stuff I have to do, otherwise I will be kind of like like tensed up. Like I realize
Meditations like that, nerve calming techniques, all that I've been doing most of my life because
that's
it's better than nothing, and I can't take pain meds and stuff like that for different reasons.
I don't either, but I do the CBD thing.
Holy crap, nerd.
It's doing that here too.
Yeah, here too. Where are you? Where's that snow?
Bird's up in the New York area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm in Pennsylvania, so.
And I'm right now over in the Black Hills.
I don't know where that is.
I feel so dumb. The actual park that's known as Black Hills is Western South Dakota. That's where Rushmore and all that is.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you. When you talk about the brain stuff, that's been something I've been dealing with. That's another really hard thing for me because like I have a master's degree. I was a teacher, and I have a lot of it became a lot worse after getting the illness, the virus. On top of what I had.
That's something I haven't been so right. Long. I get what you're saying because it's not been right since then. Stuff. The seizures that I had are a rare disorder type, and the genetic trait is in my family, but pretty much no other family so far. It was named after my family and only found in them so far, but it's not active unless certain things cause it. Mm-hmm. I got a tainted diphtheria shot that caused PCOS, infertility, the seizures, nerve damage, all this other stuff when I was 2.
Wow.
And so my first memory is waking in the hospital after a massive seizure tried to kill me. So
son of a bitch.
I'm sorry.
Hello, world. Birdo Bray 5, Kapla. And I guess no one had heard me.
No,
nobody heard a word you were saying. You were muted.
There's that. I will talk to you about this anytime you want. Should we talk about it between us sometime? You want to do that?
Sure.
And
that's
do a big.
Always give Cap credit for us because of what he deals with, because of what Bird deals with. This channel's always been a place where you're pretty safe if you're dealing with medical or mental stuff. He's pretty understanding.
Oh, that's
a place where
thank you. I just usually don't like to.
And usually if he gets tired of it, he just tells you. He's pretty good at that.
I've been just like I always do feel like that a lot. Like sometimes I feel like I'm like a burden on people. Like
or you're just expressing what you feel, or you're just dealing with the tics as they happen, and you feel like it pushes people away because they can't handle it or this or that. How many people
they don't understand that it's 24/7 for
us,
so we're going to think about it all the time. They don't get that, you know?
It's not only that, it's just there's a need to get it out because it's like the pain is so always there. It's a constant companion. It's the companion you don't want.
It's a companion. If it was a person, you'd be sitting there thinking, "Where's a shallow grave?" kind of thing. Honestly,
exactly. If it were possible,
I know it's a dark humor way of expressing it.
There's a meme that sums it up really well, and it says it's the dude from Futurama or something in it, which is irrelevant to the meme, but it says like I don't know if I'm actually starting to get better or if I'm just getting more used to feeling like shit. I always thought that was really funny.
And the answer to that is yes.
Yes, we don't know either, though. It's like,
you have those moments, you have those thoughts, you have those, is this really what it is moments? But unfortunately, I know it's not going to be better because with my issues, it's just going to progress worse as I get older, you know?
So what were you saying?
I do know, because my treatment is going to be, my treatment's worse than most people say than the illness. So
I was just answering the question of where I was and stuff like that. New York City.
I see that Sissa Bray is there.
Sissa Bray is here, yes. That is
Bird, just
Charlie.
remember, we all like her more than you.
The only reason I know that is because there's a vehicle in the driveway. So
yeah, that is her vehicle.
Well,
I know that
bus.
sounds like I just said something horrible to him, but I tease Bird all the time. He knows that.
Oh no, I was making fun of the short bus drove by, and I said, "There's my bus."
yep. And good morning,
Used to
Justin
be on a
Proper.
short
Sorry.
bus.
Justin.
Not all short buses are special.
Well, I worked with children with special needs and severe needs for years, so it's
No.
it is.
After never taking a school bus for high school, our parents got together and decided to privately pay for a school bus to pick us up and take us to our high school, which was a distance away because we were the smart kids. And of course, there's nothing like coming to high school on your first day and getting off a short bus.
I never knew the difference because when I was younger, it was a short bus not because of special needs.
I was going to say,
I was taken on a short bus. So.
I'm going to say, I'm from the sticks. Half the time, the schools that did cart kids around, the buses they used were either extended vans or little mini buses.
Right.
Because that's all they needed because they didn't have many students. In
city areas where there's enough students, like New York City,
yeah,
the big buses, yeah. There's a lot of kids.
Reason, in kindergarten, it was I went to private school for kindergarten. That was it. And in kindergarten, the school bus, because it was private school, was a little bus. And I never knew the term the short bus.
I went to a private school for a couple of years. Other than that, I was always homeschooled.
Oh, really? Are you happy that you were homeschooled? That's so interesting to me.
Other than the fact that my mom was absolutely militant, and if we got less than 95%, we had to redo the whole course and tests over.
My mom was like that with grades that we got, at school, just not at home.
But then again, I was doing, 12th grade work and stuff when I was 13. So because it could easily skip because I had the time to do it and stuff. I was done with schoolwork early in the day because I didn't have to deal with multiple students and all the other stuff and things. So, but the big problem they always talk about with the homeschooled kids is socialization. That depends on the parents. If they're the kind of parents that will actually do, outings and field trips and public stuff, or put you in some after school things with other kids and stuff, then it's not a big deal. It really isn't. As the kind of parents that are just isolating you from humanity, well, you're going to have a sucky life whether you're in a school or not.
It's very true. I always thought homeschooling was such a cool thing, but I didn't want to be at home. I'll just put it that way. So I'm lucky that I didn't. I worry about children nowadays with the socialization thing. Like my nieces and nephews, they're lucky because there's a couple of them. And my my sister-in-law, she does things with them, like she makes a point to like you were saying. But there's a lot of kids right now, that when they weren't going to school, like those primary brain development ages and stuff, it really, I don't know, it makes me sad.
Well, that's the thing that can drive you nuts with this whole school system stuff is a lot of the public schools are not better unless you have the exact same learning style as the over half of society. You have to fit the box so much, otherwise it is a constant struggle.
Go ahead, Bird.
You guys have to look at this the other way. Okay, these kids that are being homeschooled, they're going to be the consumers, the people with the money very shortly. So the smarter you are from them, the better off you're going to be. Because they're going to be the competition you're going to have to eat up.
That depends.
It is also true that when you go into colleges, having high grades and marks homeschooled actually gets you in easier than having them from schools. Because they realize that the homeschools tend to be more strict and tend to pay more attention to each person's work.
I just worry about children that don't come from good homes. That's what I worry about right now, because
I worry about those either way, especially with this whole lockdown society.
Well, they're forced to be, be at home now. Like children that would normally have school be their safety, you know. They're
Good
safe,
morning,
they're safe,
Resolute.
Yes,
but
good
as
morning,
far as the
Resolute.
teaching thing goes, it's very frustrating because I've been in this. That was my career, and you things are very different. You don't have like the freedom to teach like when I first graduated college, a while ago in the year 2000. With
Like I said,
core standards,
when
with
I
Common Core and stuff, you're teaching to a
yeah.
test now. You have no like
Yeah, and
creativity.
when
Well,
I
you can
complain
create it,
about
but
the school systems, I'm not saying that every teacher that's in it is trying to teach that way or stuff, but it's
I know
also
we've no choice.
it's just natural too. When you're trying to teach a large group, when you don't have the resources, you have a massive class, you just try to teach to the most common learning style. The problem is if somebody's kinesthetic, autistic, or other stuff,
That's not a good
it's so
teacher.
easy to fall
Yeah,
through the cracks. And it's not even necessarily that it's always a bad teacher. It's just they're trying to reach as many as they can as fast as they can because they have too much on their plate sometimes. And that can also overwhelm both
but
sides.
there are ways to do that. I'm just saying, as a teacher,
Yeah.
if you can teach to a whole group. You are taught to do that. Some people do get I guess people have taught for a long time, or maybe I don't know. But you have to teach to all learners. You teach to every learner. You learn to. That's like what we
Yeah, and
didn't learn.
that's the other downside when you're trying to teach to all styles and you're trying to teach to all learning techniques and stuff, and you're trying to teach a large class and you have one teacher, maybe one teacher's assistant. Now the entire class is slowed down so you can teach to every style and stuff. There and I'm not blaming necessarily the teachers. I'm not even necessarily blaming the different school districts. It's something that unfortunately naturally happens at times. But it is easier the larger the class is for kids to fall behind or fall through the cracks. It just is.
I used to use a lot of like stations in the classroom, and I was younger, younger kids. Meaning I did work at the high school, but at the high school I was a support for severe needs. Um, I used a lot of like discovery stations, and I would always pair children up, like to get, I pair groups up where I knew that there were kids that would be helpful to younger kids. It's kind of a lot of like it's a the teaching theory that they use in I think it's Switzerland or Sweden. I forget the name of the educational theory, and you're basically you're just like I can never think of my words anymore too, which is funny. I laugh at myself because I'm like, I used to teach and now you can't even think of the word. I can't come up with words a lot anymore. But you're basically like fostering their learning. Like you're not teaching them, so to say. You're like
Which
guiding
does
them
help with
through
some of the
them
learning
teaching themselves.
styles. It does help with
Yes.
some learning styles. It still
Some,
wouldn't help with certain mental conditions and certain learning styles where they really do need that hands-on one-on-one. And that's the problem is once I
one-on-one.
know something, I know it ingrained in depth, easy. Once I've learned something, if I can follow and understand it once, I'm good. But I need that one-to-one communication in order to be able to follow and learn something. And you can't get that consistently for every class and every lesson when you're in a school
Unfortunately,
system where you
can't.
have 20, 40 students in a class. It just doesn't happen. And so when
That's
you
the
have
reality.
that
Yeah.
kind of learning issues and it doesn't make the person stupid, but it makes it easy to fall through the cracks. And I've known with the stuff I do with working in the inner city, with the stuff I do with dealing with disabled kids and abuse and victims and all that, one thing I've learned is how many have fallen through the cracks, even with good teachers, just because there was not enough resources for them to get the help they needed
That's a
with their
huge
learning
thing.
technique, or because the class had to slow down so much because of some people's issues that they were so bored they couldn't focus.
Those children should absolutely, there should be resources enough for those children to have like a one-on-one that can help them. You know what I mean? Or have like at least, yeah. I don't. There's no answer
And
to that because in
what
larger
drives me
cities,
nuts is the amount of money wasted in the schools where it could actually do that. I'll use an example here. One of the things we do is we'll put together backpack with all the requirement supplies for kids to hand out to the schools so the schools don't have to do them. I can go put those backpacks together in Target with better supplies than the schools will give the kids for $15, $20 when they have the clearances right before school starts. The school systems, when they put those backpacks together for the underprivileged kids, the average city taxes for per student for those backpacks is over $600. Where is that money going?
That is a true struggle. That's a true,
and that frustrates me. It frustrates the teachers who sit there going, where's the money going? Because I'm not getting the supplies for that.
So many teachers end up paying out of their own pockets for their classes. That's like a known thing. Like we do it all the time.
And yeah, that absolutely drives me nuts, because it's the same with growing up dealing with IHS, and somehow the funds are gone 4 months in, but the people that are running the hospitals have all this stuff that they should never have, but they're destroying the people underneath them because they're not giving them the funds that were for them. It's the same thing with the schools, and it doesn't mean that the people on the lower levels are the ones doing it. The doctors, the teachers and stuff in these places are not usually the ones doing that stuff. They're the ones getting screwed by that stuff being done. It's the bureaucrats that are the money-grubbing pain in the ass, basically. And that just unfortunately is.
I was very lucky because the past 14 years I was in like a rural town in Colorado where I didn't have to deal with that. But before that, prior to that, I was in the inner city schools in Philadelphia, and I can't even tell you some of the stuff I saw there. I mean, it was just between the parents and what was available for the school, resources all around. It was like some of these kids were just really being neglected. Like we would wash some of the kids' like clothes for them, like put them in something else and take their clothes and actually like wash them. And I don't know, it's sad, but.
And then there are a lot of the teachers' unions will protect the lazy, inept teachers, even at the expense of the good ones. Because, well, they've been here longer. It's like, I don't care if they've been there 5 years longer. If they're abusive to their students, they don't give a shit, they're not working hard, or they give people jobs back after they were caught abusing their students and suspended with pay for abusing their students.
That's inner city school stuff. It's horrible.
Especially female teachers, if they get caught doing things inappropriate with their student, they get their job back a lot of the time.
I've seen
good morning, Kikiro Bubba.
Lead kids around by their ponytails, like carrying, like controlling a child with their hair, and I'm like, what are you doing? Hello, let's talk about the beautiful snow for a second.
I could name really good. Yeah, it is nice to see the clean, the wash,
It's beginning to look a lot like
Christmas.
I don't know. Easter.
I didn't have a Christmas.
It's beginning to look a lot like
Christmas here.
Valentine's Day.
I'm in the mountains.
It's amazing.
I'm in the mountains. I grew up in the mountains.
This is our
like that could be any time from September to May.
This is how it was for Colorado for me.
In all truth, because Charlie and my sister couldn't be here for Christmas because of COVID. This is our Christmas because it's the first night Charlie woke up here. The first morning, Charlie woke up and he had Christmas gifts. He has Christmas gifts. Yeah. And we didn't realize now it's a white Christmas too.
That's right.
Yep.
Hey, Charlie, you got a white Christmas.
Hi.
By the way, Bert, I haven't seen you since before my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. That's right. Didn't I sing you happy birthday or I did not?
I didn't get to come on then. I ended up dealing with stuff.
And
I did go over and speak a bit with
you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rosetta. Happy birthday to you.
It was a week ago.
Sorry?
It was a week ago. I haven't gotten to see Bert in a while though because of travel and dealing with stuff. So I had fun with that. We were out in the mountains doing photos and stuff, so it was good. But
yeah, Charlie, you want to say hello to everybody?
Charlie, say hi, world.
Hey, Charlie.
Hi.
And they can't hear you, unfortunately.
Charlie, say hi, world.
Hi,
world. Oh, he said it.
He said it.
Hi.
He said it.
Uncle Joey, we practiced yesterday. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Charlie.
Oh, that was so
what
cute.
What a good speaker. I'm
And
gonna
Mr.
get off
Montel,
the camera
drop
thing,
the
but I'll be
laughter
in the
channel
chat.
in.
Sorry, I'm talking.
I'm sorry. What was that?
I'm just gonna get off of the
You want the
camera, but I'm
microphone?
gonna be in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
just
Hey,
because I'm gonna
Charlie.
eat stuff and I feel like I'm.
Hi, Charlie.
I don't like looking at my
You
feet.
want paper towel?
Hi,
You can go off
everybody.
camera and still stay up here and voice chat too. You can just turn off the camera.
I may come back and do that, but I'm gonna go to the chat for now because I'm gonna get my tea and some food and I'm at my desk and eat while
Cool.
I hang. Okay. It was good talking to you though. And big hugs, Rosetta. Remember, this too shall pass. Won't pass, but this too shall pass in our minds, and we'll have better days, right?
Yeah.
Good days and bad days. Just gotta kind of laugh through it. I don't know. That's how I do it. I have no answer. I have my heart days too, so I can't.
Good
Hi,
morning,
Bird.
Darius. Good
Hi,
morning,
Bird.
See you guys, and I'll
Wednesday.
talk to you in there.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Say hi, Bird. No. Okay.
That was it, Charlie. But it's okay. Everybody, people heard it. We had 10 plus people witness this.
Yep.
It was cute too.
Walked away.
Resolute Germ says, Berto 6 speaks. Berto Frey 6 speaks. And Darius confirms he said it.
Children are so precious.
Until they become adults, then it's open season.
That's why I said children. Actually, until they become teenagers. So then their brain runs away and they turn into assholes. I mean, sorry. I annoyed my niece so much because she's 15 right now. And she kept rolling her eyes at me and Mom. And I posted publicly that I have a theory. The reason teenagers roll their eyes so much is because they're searching the back of their head for their missing brains.
Brains.
And she got so annoyed with me for doing that. And then she starts rolling her eyes even more. I'm going, see, look, she's still looking for her brains.
It's a little, sounds like a little like child. I know.
No, there's a difference between truly being mean versus joking around lovingly. My niece will come to me almost any time.
Welcome, Professor Brainy Specs.
Yes, good morning, Professor Brainy Specs. You're more than welcome to come on this morning.
But no, it's like I have all kinds of nieces and nephews, and luckily been getting to see some of them while I'm here at least.
You have all kinds of nieces and nephews?
Yeah, a lot of them. And they have very,
Some
very
you might not want to have anymore.
Oh,
Some
no,
that might want to work in the mines, maybe?
No. No, Bird.
Always looking for workers in his mines.
No, that's not as bad as when I commented that my niece was turning 18 and oh my God, she looks like me. And he's like, ooh, an 18-year-old version of Rosetta. I was like, shut up, no.
Oh.
No.
Okay, what do you want?
At least wait until they were 18.
True.
All nice and legal.
Bird, you need serious mental health. I actually gotta think about it. There's so many of my nieces take after me. I have to fear for the next generation. Picture my attitude and mouth in kids with much less social anxieties and self-esteem issues than me.
The 2-year-old probably doesn't know what they're missing. The 4 and 6-year-old, yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I taught one of my nieces a lot of the stuff when she was learning to speak and talk, and I moved away when she was about 1.5 years old, and she was still really skittish and didn't talk to people really. And I would sing a couple of the songs off some of her favorite shows to her every time that they called me and talked to me. And I would do this with her for months to get her to talk out. And she'd do a shy hi or she'd do a little giggle and stuff. And she had trouble not being nervous on the phone and talking to people. And a few months into it, she yanked the phone out of Grandma's hand one day and sang the whole freaking song I was always singing to her to me, and then started telling me I love you. Yeah.
President Germ, I couldn't have said it any better myself.
All the kids that take after me are between the age of 8 and 23.
And I still agree. The evil. Yes, President Germ.
They're good kids, though. They do a lot of stuff to take care of other people. The one to beware of is my goddaughter and my youngest niece. My youngest niece is what would happen if you took my hyperactivity and cranked it up about 6 dials and then it made me very autistic. As she don't care, she speaks her mind. She's a good kid, but even I have my hands full trying to deal with her. And my goddaughter, just because she will tell you what she thinks in no uncertain terms. My goddaughter is, if you took my personality and stuff and rolled it into kind of a stereotypical inner city black diva. She's fun too. I love my mixed up all over the place family, though. I do.
Let's see here. Well, you know what? I think we all have a little bit of mixed up family here and there. Yeah, I have gone ahead. Did I pin the link, by the way?
I don't know if you pinned it. I know you shared it a while ago.
Because it's Friday and we're doing open lines on Morning Brew. I'll have to check. Oh,
it's Friday. Has anyone seen Prodigy yet?
No.
I'm going to be honest. My Prodigy review has become my #1 video of the last month. It shot up to the #1 spot above all the Discovery reviews overnight.
Well, I mean, I still say they named Discovery appropriately because it is an STD. So
I do.
I get that. I'm not arguing that by any means, but I think maybe it's just the thumbnail of all the original characters that were in the episode. But
I don't know. I've had so little interest. I don't bother with any of it anymore. I gave up. I tried, and I gave up on pretty much everything. So I've just kind of quit trying now.
Well, I say if you're going to watch, you can watch one episode 6, and it's some classic Trek in there.
Exactly.
The space gods are angry with me, says Professor Rainy Specs. No, they were happy with me. They made it. I didn't have to yell and scream.
Did his mic just cut off?
Yep.
But Mama Frey was speaking to me. And so
it was mid-word, so I was wondering if maybe your system crashed or something.
Okay, Charlie, good boy. He's putting Star Trek on.
Good boy.
Charlie got the Roku remote.
Oh God, yes.
and he's got Picard and Data on some random episode. The one where the ship became a temple or whatever.
Yeah.
With the moon. Oh, now he went to Hulu. Okay, this is Charlie Explores the Television. The thing is, at his house, he has the exact same model television with the exact same remote. And then here, we have this TV, but we have two remotes. Now, I've got one remote by me, and I got an extra remote for Mama Prey to keep by her. And which was the one kept by me, I was keeping out of Charlie's grasp. But apparently, Mama Prey's remote. Oh, yeah, don't mess with the profiles. I came to Netflix and I had a new profile just called GGGGG. I was like, okay, Charlie got to the remote.
Charlie is making your life difficult. This makes me happy. I mean,
oh, thanks, Rosetta.
Mwah.
Okay, now Eddie's outside sweeping, shoveling, and he can see me. It's disturbing.
No, it wasn't supposed to snow here yesterday, but it did. We got dumps of snow like that too. I can't read the chat very well. I said hi to you. My glasses aren't on, and the computer's way over there. It's really hard to see. I'm sorry. I'm trying to see when people are talking to me. My glasses are over there next to the sleeping hubby. I don't want to bug him. Unfortunately, in Mom's little guest room here, the bed is not big enough for two people to fit on. I can barely fit me and my pillow for my back on it. So my husband's sleeping in a little pop-up bed over there.
You need to laugh.
Okay, as long as
good to laugh at.
As long as you're playing, I don't know, because people get so upset at everything that I'm always worried of upsetting somebody.
Well, as long as you got a bra on, you can always just take off your shirt. That would make people laugh.
A, no, and B, I'm in bed still. No, I don't have one on.
I mean, I would just walk away, but that's neither here nor there. I'm gonna get coffee anyhow, so I wouldn't see. But I was just saying that that would at least give Brightest Day a laugh.
Are you saying that I'm funny looking?
No.
Okay. Brightest, I know the feeling. I've been having a really crappy morning. I'm in a lot of pain right now.
Brightest, come on up. Might as well.
Yeah, he's already putting up with me. He can't make it much worse. I mean,
if you're having a bad morning, we might as well just make this a...
What? The chronic pain 2.0 for CCDV?
Oh, did he have one again?
Yeah, Nina was wanting some company with her pain last night.
Ah.
So he had one off schedule for her.
I'll just tell you working it on. Call it a therapy session. Yeah, and That's
I'm
going to take
sorry.
time. Yeah. Yeah, most people don't understand that isn't a,
No, as bad as it sounds, mourning a pet can sometimes hit harder than losing family members because you get really close to your pets.
Yeah.
Because A, they're the ones that are with you pretty much 24/7 outside of maybe your spouse. B, they depend on you so much that you're very used to them constantly a part of everything in your life. And in my case with my kitties, they are the ones who come and cuddle up to me and calm me down and take care of me when I'm depressed or sick, even when my husband has to work. So no, I get that completely.
And, you are welcome on any time, brightest day. You're more than welcome. I know your work now makes it impossible to come on, but, anytime I'm on, you're more than welcome. And anyone who says that, anything about you not, well, about grieving the loss of your pet, yeah, that's,
If they have a problem with that, they can kiss my ass and you can send them to me.
yeah, exactly. Send them to Rosetta and they can deal with her.
Because I am so sweet and delicate when I'm pissed off, right?
Sure, that would be the first thing I would describe it as. Yeah. And you're welcome, brightest day. That's what we're here for. It's not a simple slogan. We are a community. Yeah, that's what it's about. I could honestly, if it weren't about community, I could just shut this channel down and start up a whole new one, which would grow like 5 times faster than this one has, but it wouldn't be mine.
Yeah, it's interesting when people get their reactions, their behaviors and stuff. Most of them don't understand.
No.
We need to have the support. A lot of us are on YouTube because we do have physical, mental, or emotional issues. A lot of us are here because we don't have ways to have companionship or people around us much otherwise. And so we need to help each other. We need to try to uplift each other.
And that's unfortunately just one of the truths of life. I was thinking a friend of mine has, well, now 4 kids. 2 of them are of ages that they will remember life pre-lockdown. The 2 younger ones won't. They won't have any memory of any time prior to what's going on now. And that's actually sad in my mind.
Maybe it's part of why I get so angry at these people who keep saying, just accept it, new normal and stuff. Is because, yeah, we need to take care of each other. We need to protect each other's health. That also includes mental and physical health of people who can't handle this. It also includes keeping society alive in other ways. It's not a one-way solution,
It's funny because I was reading something. I remember yesterday on doing the e-news thing. Hospitals around the world have gotten rid of nurses and doctors that are have not gotten the shot, and that of course are bitching because of shortages, and there are, it's like, oh no, hospitals are full. Well, yeah, because you have like a third the staff. We're at half capacity and we're full. It's like you get rid of the third of your staff. Yeah, you're gonna have more issues. Duh. Let's be simple.
A lot of these people seem to be simple. That's the problem. They can see one side of the argument. They don't see any of the other sides. And okay, fine. You can argue whether or not people should or shouldn't get shots, other stuff like that. But the fact is, not all people can, no matter what you want.
Exactly.
It's never going to be able to have 100% compliance. And the same people who claim, you should get it so you protect people who are immune compromised. My immune compromised issues and my allergies are why I can't get it. Get the shot or die. Boy, did you quickly flip that position, didn't you?
Exactly.
I can show the screenshots of that exact conversation happening repeatedly.
Yeah.
It's like there's no compassion. It's comply or die. And the thing is, you can argue the effectiveness of the shots. There's some are more effective than others. None of them are preventing people from spreading it. So you still need to take all your precautions around people if you really think it's that big of an issue.
Well, I mean,
be careful,
Let's take, for example, in Asiatic countries, where masks have been common for generations. Big deal. People go out, I think taking normal precautions, if you're sick or you are going to be around people who are sick, granted, I understand there are people who can't wear masks. I get that. But as a whole, I don't have an issue with people wearing masks out in public. It's not that big a deal to me.
See,
okay?
the people that are anti-mask to me are as crazy as the ones who think you have to wear it no matter what.
Exactly. It's like there's a difference between, I think it's situational, not constant. And yes, I think winter is an important time. Number one, it actually helps keep your face warmer. So you're actually, it's a good thing. You have less to worry about frostbite right there in your face. So one positive thing. But
well, and see, one of the things that kills me is that, okay, one of the things they do in winter weather clothing for a lot of people is they have face wraps for the neck, for over the mouth and nose. I can't wear those, even in the cold weather. I never have been able to. I couldn't breathe as soon as I put them on, and I'd start having convulsions, and I didn't know why until they kept doing all this testing when I was about 19 and found out that I have not just chemical sensitivities, but I have a severe form of vocal cord dysfunction. So as soon as I would breathe in that exhalant air, the carbons and stuff like that we breathe out would react to my vocal cords and seize them.
Yep.
So if I breathe through any kind of fabric, any kind of anything where I breathe any of the exhalant right back in, my throat closes up within a minute.
And Anna, Drew, and Jill, I couldn't agree anymore.
And that's also why it is a violation of what the ADA is to require it without actually listening to people if they tell you they can't. Because there are some conditions where you truly can't. And you still have a right to exist.
Oh, and trust me.
I don't have a problem with businesses saying, we want you to wear this. I have a problem with businesses saying no medical exemption.
Oh,
I have
I
a
go
problem with
to
the fact that hospitals are doing that.
exactly. Yeah, no exception.
I'm being told by hospitals
Excuse me?
in multiple states fighting to get testing for potentially cancerous lump. Basically, we don't care. We're not going to help you die. I'm sorry. Does nobody understand that there's supposed to be laws protecting people for being persecuted for disabilities? Because that kind of is. You know? And again, I don't have anything against this stuff. I have a problem with the people who think that those crappy freaking cloth ones that are made out of quilting fabric are going to do anything, because that stuff doesn't block anything.
No,
You know?
they've already talked about it, how it doesn't do a damn thing, but yeah, why not?
I have a problem with them thinking like they're doing some great thing with those. But if you want to wear them, wear the proper ones, wear good ones, wear ones that have the filter in the inside of the cloth, all that, and you believe in it and you want to do it, I support you on it. I do. Just as long as you support the fact that I can't, then I'm doesn't mean that I'm going to make everybody sick. You know? It's just compassion is getting harder and harder to find in this society on both sides. Because honestly, it's the same thing I say about the whole shot communities. Both the hardcore pros and antis are all nuts.
Yeah, and Bird, check your private messages, please.
My doctor has already been told they won't do anything with it. They won't let her bring me in. And because she works for a hospital that's completely owned by the main hospital, if she violates that and she gets caught, they will shut down her clinic and everybody else loses care. She's not happy. She's trying to figure something out, but she's in a hard place with it. Because they are literally strong-arming her not to help people like me. Or to basically screw all her patients. That's unfortunately happening quite commonly right now around the world.
Oh, well, Bird, I think you sound like you're busy. Are you doing okay?
Bird, we love you.
Okay. Well, thank you for
okay,
letting
Bird?
us use snow.
Yeah, it's just, my nephew's here. I got to have breakfast.
Oh,
yeah. Things
Bird,
like that. Yes.
Send your family our love and give that kid a big hug for all of us.
Oh, I will. Everybody has Rosetta's love, especially me.
Nice way to interpret that.
Okay. Take care, guys.
Take care.
Kapla.
Kapla.